All right, I think we're getting there already. You see what kind of face we're going to do for this thumbnail today. It's gonna be like, all right, that's good enough, I guess. Anyways, we are back into the live development of the RigBuilder here, and today we are proceeding on the functions of the skin clusters and mostly adjusting all the stuff. I had to do some progress offline as well because there was some fuzzy areas, and it's mostly solved right now. It's importing and exporting, and I got some pretty interesting results. Actually, to my perspective, quite mind-blowing results because it's just like importing and exporting like blazing fast, insane speed for using OpenMaya as skin cluster imported. I don't know how many companies are doing it, but boy, you got to do it because there's no way you can do it in Python efficiently, not as far as I could test, at least using skin percentage. So uh, here is Bob, our friend, our spinning head friend, that is providing us with this marvelous mash and with all of this 20 something poses based on somewhat facts and some that will be have some that we'll have to develop soon in the future, but this is not the stage that we are in right now, although all the blend shapes are already set and connected. But how's it going, buddy? Just another spin. All right. And if you want to comment or communicate or express your feelings and, just talk about life, feel free to comment and we will be talking today. So here's where we are right now. And this is my dishwasher machine. If you're wondering the noise in the background. And let me get some water here, some hydration into my system. Excuse me. This is not, sorry guys, this is not vodka. This is standard water. Anyways, so what we have here going on is we have our system. This is the RigBuilder UI, and this is the pre-build utilities. So what we have on the pre-build utilities are tools that will help us on the, as it says, pre-build stage. So we'll be able to load, select, like deal with joint mirroring and importing the blend shapes, or importing like the model geo, importing the base skeleton, and then we'll be able to adjust so that then on the next stage we can actually build this rig. But what's going on right now is that I'm starting to realize that there's a little more to it uh, than dishwashing. But sorry, just getting into my mind here. But it's a little bit more than just building this. It's important also to have a post build. So some of the skinning tools are related mostly then to post build utilities, as I can currently understand, because since it's a system that's being inherited, so it's a class. The system is based on classes, and it is starting with a few classes that are not seen here, but it goes into then pre-build utilities, and then it goes into, so before that, project, pre-build utilities, then the face rig, and then it moves on what it's now going to be created, the post-build utilities. And as we progress on this inheritance scale, we get the variables from the previous one. So if you run the entire rig, once we get to the post-build utilities, we have access to basically all the information that was generated on the process of build. So if we're storing joint information, control information, skin clusters information, whatever type of information that we access or that we used on the build process, we have it. We have access to that on the post build utils section, which is great because it just gives us so much flexibility. We have everything that we need. So in the case of the skin cluster, we need. So let's check out the file here. Well, it is a bit too much, I guess, to be going through that. through this like watching the code, but and right now it's quite big. We're approaching like 1,000 lines of code. Well, just considering the comment here, like I don't know, 1,000 lines of code. So yeah, that's a bit of a lot, in terms of just going through this and analyzing. But let's just check out what we have. So we have the builder class, which is this one. We can see here on the corner as well, and the project. So the project, we have information about the folders inside the project file, and we are storing this information then so that we can access it into, say, for example, in utilities here, which is what is being used to create the pre-built utilities. You can see sometimes here we are calling this dictionary, such as here, for example, I'm going to get one example here, at least one example. Here, for example, we have the project directory dict, and we are getting the skin cluster model folder. That's so then we can just double click this function here, which is this function here, export model geo weights, and it's going to export all of the geo inside of the model geo group. So whatever it is that is inside of this group here, this particular one here, it's going to export it into our rig model, into our data skin cluster model directory. And it knows that because it is using the information inside of the class. If we weren't using inheritance here, we would have to requery this information or store it somewhere in some other way, where right now this is working very well in this sense. And if we check let's see if we can, I don't know if I can rebuild it right now. Let's see. We have the export, we have the import skin cluster. Let me see if I change. I think I started to change already the import skin cluster, so we're not probably not going to be able to. No, it's still here though. So yeah, I'm going to start changing it right now, and also I'm going to start. So let's begin the work. Enough talking. So just to demonstrate what we have right now, if we then rebuild this, so I'm just gonna remove the import skin cluster and weights, because this is using the old way and it was taking 32 minutes to build because of this import skin cluster based on Python, and it's just impossible to use this. So this is how long it's taking to rebuild the rig. It just did. So it took like less than 4 seconds to rebuild it. I don't think it was 4 seconds. It was like super fast. But also there's not much being done here. So it's expected to be like that. But compared to, so now let's talk about the skin clusters import. So before we were have this number in mind. 32 minutes to import, and we are importing the super dense meshes here. And although they are binded to one single mesh, they still have a lot of vertex to be processed here. And now, so we don't have skin clusters on the mesh, as you can see here. And when we do OpenMaya import skin weights, see, look at that, it's done. 3 seconds. 3 seconds. 3 seconds, 0.58 to be more specific. So from 32 minutes to 3.58 seconds. That's bananas for me. It's like if some people ask me, or I've seen a lot of videos, or I have researched myself, why using OpenMaya versus Python. This is the perfect example. Python, or straight Python, using skin percentage taking 32 minutes versus OpenMaya taking 3 seconds. So we have Rafael Vitorati here saying hi, and hey man, what is this? Your personal auto rig system? Yes, that's it. My personal auto rig system. working on it step by step. It's been 19 episodes of about 1 hour and a half in average, and we're not even close, but we're making some progress, and we're getting some pretty uh, yeah, some things are happening right now that are allowing us to give some bigger steps, and I feel a bit of momentum. So he's saying, Rafael is saying, try to write it in C++. It's a huge increase in performance. I can totally see that, man. I can totally see that being the case. It's just OpenMaya is basically a C++ wrapper, so it is just the way to go. It's probably the next step. I'm going to do this process right now and understand the concept of doing this RigBuilder. And once I have the idea consolidated in my mind and knowing all the steps, what I like and what I would like to improve, then we're gonna go back and try to do this blazing fast operation with C++. But highly appreciate the your direction, and I am pretty sure I'm going to remember this in the future. Pleasure to meet you, Rafael. Welcome. So yeah, with that being said, let's begin the work. So you can see that this is what's happening if we just grab. So the controls right now, they are not yet uh, the shapes are not yet adjusted. So right now we just have something in place to test, and this is one of the next steps. And we also have some template geometry here that is turned on, and if we can see that all of the skin clusters have been imported. And this is very basic, by the way. I didn't do like a super detailed process of skinning, but it's just to see that we are actually importing the skin clusters and that it's all working. So uh, with that in mind, though, what happens here is that the skin tools here is on the pre-build utils. So basically, the pre-built utils would work best when the rig is not yet built, and we are having to access this pre-built utils after the rig is built. So ideally, then we would be moving in this all these things into a post-build utils as well. So then the pre-build would have only tools that would help on the process of creating the skeleton or placing joints, orienting stuff, and saving geometry, saving basically all the adjustments that we need to do. And then we run the build, and then after everything is built, we're gonna work on the skin cluster, work on the skinning, paint skin weights, everything. And then on the post build utilities, you can just export, import, or whatever. Or better yet, the import has to happen on the build process. So it's only the export. But anyways, one thing that we need to do first here is to put so it is building, but it is building with the control group here inside of or outside of the rig root here, which also may be a name that we might need to change at some point. So our friend Rafael here is saying, thanks, nice to meet you, very nice work. I just arrived at studio. I'm a character TD here in Platige image. I'll have to check that out, my friend, and good luck on your journey as a character or a creature TD. I'm pretty sure you're gonna have a blast. It's hard, if you got there, you know what I mean. It's a life of pain sometimes, but it is very rewarding, and we gotta just keep pushing, and eventually we will get into a point where everything becomes easy. Although that I don't really believe it. I think once we get to a point where it's comfortable, you gotta just find the thing that is uncomfortable again. But yeah, let's keep moving. So first of all, I'm just gonna clean this thing and show it on the root. There, not on the root. I'm just gonna first I'm going to specify which is the group that it's going to be added to, and that's going to be inside of the group hierarchy dict here. So I am going to add this in after the, so it's going to be regroup, and I'm just going to create like a, I'm just going to create a control group, control control group. And the control group is then going to be called something like control group, maybe. Could be rig control group, but since it's a variable, it doesn't really matter. I can change it later. Right now, it can just be that control group, and as long as we can change it, it's all good. So rig template group, that's not what we want. This is the rig group, and that's what I want. So I want the control group then to be equals mc dot group, and the name is going to be self dot group hierarchy dict, and we're going to be using that control group, right? So that's what we have. And empty. And that's true. So now I need to parent that into the rig group. So we already have it here. So I'm just going to add this here, control group. And this should be then parented now. And that's pretty much it. So next thing is I need to, after creating the actual controls, let me see where I am doing that. So add controls to skeleton. Constraint. Why do I even have this here? Okay, so I need to do some cleanup here, pretty clear to me. But it just looks like something that is not finished, and it's fine. So Rafael Vitorati is saying you can use create node with parent flags. So what is that going to do, Rafael? Let me check here. So my Python create node. I know the command create node, but what do you mean with the specifies the parent in the DAG under which? Oh, I see what you mean. So then we can create just it's already going to be parented under it, right? So I don't need to do this parenting here after the group is created. That's pretty clever. Let me take note of this. I'm not going to change this right now just because note from Rafael Vitorati. Use cmds dot create node. So then we're gonna have transform, comma parent equals parent group, and that will give us, that will create the group oh god, group node already parented. Great, thank you, man. You just gave me some pretty cool information. Yeah, so when I'm working on a cleanup, I'm going to do this right now just for the sake of like doing the most out of the time we have. I'm just going to keep pushing, but thank you so much. Highly appreciate it. Honest. Thank you, Rafael. Thank you, man. All right, so still going here. So what I'm doing here then is creating all the controls that I need. So match Then I'm matching, so then I am skeleton joint list index joint. So I'm just parenting these controls to the things that they need to be parented to. And then the top node here, what would be the top node? The top node would be the first one on the first one. So I don't remember exactly what I wrote here, so that's why I am having to reread it. So it's root control 01 group, but so how am I querying the how am I querying here the controls list relatives? I'm just using the I'm just using the root joint, listing all the joints, and then I am creating, so I'm just changing the name, creating the control using my class to create the control, and then skeleton based control object dict is the updating the control and the joint name. But this is an approach that's not going to give us a, unfortunately, it's not going to give us a indexed list, at least not in this version of Python, in Maya. But anyways, it's going to add the offset group on top of it using the class, and then the control offset group. We're getting the control offset group, which is fine, and then matching the transform with the joint. Now, okay, so I need an index here. Oh my god, okay. There might be a better way to do it, but right now I'm going to do the non-optimized way just for the sake of so just to keep moving here. So I'm just going to enumerate this, and if a better idea comes to mind, I will do it. So this is going to be then root. Oh my god, let's see. What I need is the root group. So I'm going to come to this guy here, or after it's calling the group. So I have the control offset group, and then what I need is to have it. Okay. So let's say root group equals to nothing, and or let's even go for none, for sake. And then I am going to then do like if or so, or root group equals to control offset group um, if index equals 0. Is that how it goes? In Python inline if let's go. I have been there already. Just forgot. If B, that should be it. But why is it complaining though? Else expected. Else pass. I don't know. Expression. God damn it. Else nothing. No, it cannot change anything. So this is bad. All right, so let's just do the whole thing. So if what do I want? Index equals 0. Then oh my god. Then we're gonna have the root group equals to our control offset group. That's it. That's what I want, because then control parent. Yeah. And then after we're done running this, then I'm just going to do the mc.parent root group to our self dot group hierarchy dict, and it's going to be the also then yeah, I'll optimize this later on. So let's see which one is the group that is, yeah, it's the control group. That's what we want here. So this is the control group. Yeah, so right now this should give us what we're looking for. If I then update this, let's turn off the imports clean weights. Boom. And the control group was created, and we have all of our controls over here. So that's great. We're moving. So yeah, we have the skeleton group, the control group, and the rig template group, which you're not using. I don't even know why do you need this like rig template. This should be deleted after the pre-build stage. But it's here right now. We're going to continue making progress and cleaning it as we go. All right, so next thing, so this is one item that needed to be changed, and it's changed now. So the next thing is to have the correct way to import this skin clusters. So let me see if just see it working again. I also would like to change the naming of this thing here. I don't like the way it is right now. Export model, import model, import skin weights. Yeah, that's working as we expected. Now I can see that I made a mistake on the naming there that I registered. So I'm going to change the name of the method, or just the descriptive name, which is here. And I have a model underscore geo. I'm not going to use underscores here. And also I would like to change on my RigBuilder UI. I would like to change the dimensions of this UI because right now it's starting to be a little too small. So the maximum height is 1,000. How's it looking right now? Okay, so this is how much is 1,000 though? Let's see. Yeah, this is 1,000. This is good enough. I'm just going to change the minimum height, and the minimum height is going to 800, and the minimum width, or the minimum width is then going to go, so this is the maximum. I'm going to 600, and the minimum is going to be 400 now, because it is, we need more space here. So let's just run it again. Boom, it's a little larger, a little deeper. So then now all of our naming here is fully expressed. And I don't know how far am I going to have to expand this, but it's better to have more space than less space. Sometimes I don't think it's a universal principle, but right now that's the case. So yeah, now moving on, then what we need to do is continue to clear this skin cluster function. So it is on the utilities right now, and it is, although it's a method, it is a static function. So this is the one that is exporting. So you can see that it's an open Maya function here. And at the end, we are exporting it as a JSON. So super fast. Really glad that I went this path. It took me a little longer, but we are getting into a very good result. So now what I need is to, I have the import skin cluster weights. What I need is to make this variable as well. So right now it is hard coded to get a particular file from the file folder. So what I need is to have this, and as I said, you can clearly listen my dishwasher. Look, someone got to wash my dishes, and I need to do this live right now. So we have a dishwasher. That's how I know. So we are then getting the directory path here, and I need also the file name. So the file name at the moment is skin cluster underscore 001, but this is not the official name. This is just the one that we have right now. So that, after the fact here, I will have to figure out how to store the file names for each of these files, because we have skin clusters for the model geo, we have skin clusters for the system geometry, meaning that on the system we're probably going to have like a NURB surfaces to drive some of the deformations, or to at least be a part of the deformation. And sometimes that will be binded inside of the system, sometimes we will bind it to the actual skeleton. So we need to be able to import that. Also the face system, there's like a muzzle geometry here, which we saw when we opened the mouth, that it is going to be binded multiple times, and we need to be able to export and import that. So it is a function that needs to be flexible enough so that we can import any type of weights, and it needs to be placed on the correct point of the class so that we can use it. So maybe the function itself could be, as I said, it is a static. There's no calling to the function or to the class itself inside of it. So it could be outside, but it's just helping me to have it in front of me right now, and I'll begin to take it out as we progress. So first of all, let me just clear a few variable names here that are not PEP8, and I'm going to use a few of PyCharm's suggestions. Reference path. So we're just reformatting here, basically. Simple stuff. We're just going to clean up. One of the things that you can see here is, like, on the side, you can see basically the amount of errors that we have, and things that are simply not working. So it's good to have this as clear as possible. Sometimes it's not possible to have it all cleared, but we got to do it. We got to clean it as much as possible. So, and also, as I said, a big shout out to Chad Vernon, which was the guy that I got part of this code, or most of the code, the entire code, using OpenMaya. And of course, I have reworked it to work inside of this purpose. But Chad Vernon has a course on CG circuit, I guess, and he basically is giving us a lot of information here. So shout out to this guy. I think that every creator must have the merit. So let's also change this guy here. And this guy. So that's one of the reasons why I'm changing, because some of these variables are straight from his code. So I am going to be cleaning this up. So this part here is referring to something that we're not using, just so as this part here. So I'm going to have to start reading code here. I'll be reading it out loud so that we can go together on this journey. And first of all, file. So this is where it's reading the file from, and read JSON file. So import file path. That's it. So we're gonna have so right now I'm just gonna have this. What was the thing with the join? It was system. What was like Python join path? I think it was system os path join. And then how do you do it? but I don't think it's necessary here though. I don't think it's necessary though. Not for this one. Dear path. It's ugly to do it like this, but that's going to be what it is right now. So what kind of variables do I need for this? If I was going to call, because the idea here is that I'm gonna have that's I think there's one step before even going forward here. What I like is to have, instead of having import skin clusters and weights, what I'd like to have is import the former weights into the build process, and then we're going to add a few things inside of it. So it's in this one here is import skin clusters and weights. I'm actually going to take this out of the game right now. I'm just going to start registering new stuff here. So this is going to be parented to the top level. And the first one is going to be import skin or the former weights. And this is going, the former is correct. And this is going to be parented into the self dot top level item. And this is going to be a parent, just a parent item there, so that not going to have any functions. So then I'm going to register a new one, and that's going to be import model geo skin weights. Sounds good enough to me. It might change, but for now it's going to be what it is. The former weights. And then we're going to register a new one, register. So then it's going to be import template geo skin weights. And I'm just going to copy this. And actually, better than that even is to just duplicate this and just change one guy here instead of changing 100. So it's going to be the template, it's going to be system, and then it's going to be whatever. What else do we have? Model geo, template geo, the system geo. I don't think there's anything else that I can remember right now. So if we reload this, then we should be able to see that up there. Right, so if we do face rig here, import the former weights, and then we have our import model geo skin weights, import template geo skin weights. And what also might happen is that we have some sort of like blend shape skin weight or blend shape blend weights, which is the map that we have, like just to separate a portion of that. So we might have to import that. Also, any type of skin, any type of deformer, such as a skin cluster or a wire or any type of deformer, we should be able to import it on this stage, which is right after we have. So right now, yeah, setup, it should be actually this should be after the setup modules. It should be one of the last. So after because we need to build all of the systems before we can even think of importing skin weights. So yeah, let's do that. We can import the control shapes right after we build the actual controls, and then we can do setup modules. I don't know why I chosen this name, like setup modules. I think it's build modules, right? Not build modules. Doesn't even make sense. It's just something that I placed there in the beginning. And camera fit view. So let's do it again. This is just organizing the order of the actions here, and that's where it is. So we have, after we build the modules, yeah, after we build everything, then we can import all of our skin weights, and that should be it. So there's nothing here yet, but we're gonna have it soon. And actually, we could already be using this function here and see it in action. Let's see. Let's just to feel the taste of it. Let's see it in action, right? So this to feel like, okay, this is working. This is automation, baby. As stupid as it sounds, as stupid as it sounds. So import rig skeleton, whereas our base controls, and then camera fit import skin cluster. So this is no longer what we are using, and it's not being called anyway. So let's just do another one. Import model geo skin weights self, and then I'm going to do self dot om import skin weights. So again, this om import skin weights is hard coded there, or at least not fully hard coded, because now we're getting the path from the dictionary, the directory dictionary on the inside of our class. So it's not fully hard coded, but it needs to be we need to make progress on it. But at least one thing that we can do now is rebuild the entire model with skin clusters already. So we have here, and oh, I didn't register though. Let me register that. I've just added the, so this is import model geo skin weights. So let me just register this method right now on the import model geo skin weights, and we're going to do self dot underscore import model geo skin weights, and let's drop this one line. And this guy should also be doing the same thing. Boom. So that, or let me do it on the last one here so that we don't have like any. Let's leave it like this. All right. So now it's registered and I want to check it out. So technically then it is going to run everything, and we should have, so let me just so that we can see that something is happening here. Let me delete a few things, even the head here for that sake. And let's rerun this. So now it should take a little longer because of the importing of the skin clusters. Oh, it crashed. Why? What's the line? What have I done wrong? Call buildable method, but which one broke? Yeah, I know there's no associated method. But is it because, am I not understanding my own system here? Let's do it again. Let's see if that's the case. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so it was really fast. So I just turned, what happened is it was complaining because there was no registered methods for these two guys here, which is just because we still haven't added anything for that. But the fact that there's nothing, and it is not a parent method or a parent a parent item, is it is stopping the code from executing. So this is something also to keep in mind. I'll take a note somewhere. Let me add it to the buildable. I don't know if that should be something that we should even be considering, but I'll just take a note here. So it's going to be when item not parent, and no method is added on in register, code is breaking. Add, yeah, improve. Yeah, we're just gonna improve that. So just a note, register. So yeah, that's building. I just want to be able to look at it while it's building. So let's see how many seconds it's taking to rebuild the entire rig, importing all the skin whites. It's doing it now. Boom. It took a total of 12 seconds to rebuild the rig. Pretty good. Pretty good. It's not a gigantic amount of geometry here, but I gotta tell you, this eye here, look at that. It's dense AF. So it's a success for me. I like it. All right, so we're getting some stuff done here. Now, let me see where we stand right now. So now I can get back into the function, and I just want to have that done. So it is working inside of the build. Now, what do I want to do? That's the question with this. Okay. So yeah, to import the skin clusters, then I am using this. I'm calling this entire function, which for me it's nonsense. And the only information that I'm actually inputting is the directory path and the file name. And the file name has the .json on it. And then on my utilities, I am doing it in two different ways, which is senseless for me. Well, it's good that we are also like we're just passing in the file name with the extension. But in the other one that I have, which is like export dictionary as JSON, I'm doing it in a different way. So I'm doing like data dict and file name and directory path. So that is three pieces of information in one, and one piece of information on the other. It's a little confusing, and I gotta think if I want to change either one or the other, because this is going to kind of reflect on. Yeah, it's just creating confusion here in general. So okay, I am then going to be focusing on something. Uh, I think this is irrelevant in the beginning. File extension. Okay, so what I'm going to do then, so file name, uh, plus extension or what? No. So what I'm going to do this is the file name is going to be here. So directory path equals none, and the file name, and then I am not going to require the user to add the .json as well. So then what we can do is have something like this, just the directory path, and then we add the file name .json, and then we do the format and directory path, file name. That's it. That should give us the exact same thing that we were looking, except why is it like this? Oh, it's because it's after the, so none as well. So okay, yeah. So I'm actually defining this where I I need to have some sort of a gate here. So if directory path, or if not directory path, then I'm going to be defining it, because otherwise, why even bother, right? And the file name must be provided, or not. I think that the file name needs to be provided, otherwise, yeah. So what I did on the other one is also I have added the option to prompt the user with the information, so that prompt the user to give us the information. So let's do the exact same thing here. Yeah, so this is actually okay. So what I need then is define import om import model geo skin weights. And down on the, I'm just this is again the same thing as on the bottom, but the difference here is that I need to define all of this data. So Raphael is saying, what about just file path and destination? So I assume you're saying destination geo, but so let me get into the comments here. Boom. So there it is. Raphael is saying, what about just file path and destination geo? I'm not sure I understand what you're saying. File name or destination geo. Why? Okay, let's keep this in mind. I'll keep this in mind. If you give me more information, we can try to figure this out. So, but so file name and destination geo. Okay, actually, it could be. It could be. Uh, so back here, what I need to do then is to have this thing defined on this part here, and make this 100% variable, so that we can do like self.om.import skin weights. Then I can pass in the directory path equals directory path, and the file name. It's still going to be none here, just because I still don't know where am I going to get this file path, because, or the file name, because we need to have some sort of relationship where, so we know that we need to import so far the model geoskin clusters, the system geoskin clusters, and the template geo. Each of these files is going to have a different naming, and we're going to be using this file naming in the export and on the import. So it's two places, and I cannot keep track of both of them. I cannot, if I have an idea and I want to change the name of the file, I need to be changing it on some sort of dictionary or something like that. And so I still don't know what kind. So in this part here, we have the project dictionary, the project directory dictionary. And I believe I'm going to have to declare here project file or project data files dictionary or something like that. Let me go with this idea right now. So self dot project data file dictionary. And then I'm just going to have a simple dictionary. So it's going to be model geo model geo skin cluster, model geo skin weights, and that's going to be the name of the file. And then the question that comes to my mind is, do I want to add the extension as well? Why would I use a different extension other than JSON? I've seen on other sources of information guys using like dot skin, which I believe is just an extension because the content of the file is still a JSON or still a dictionary. So I'm going to have like skin. Let me see what I actually save it as. Model. Pretty straightforward, right? It's actually silly now that I'm thinking about it. This is going to be it's going to be like model G skin weights, model G skin weights. It's silly. Okay, so anyways, I'm going to go with that. So model, so it's going to be model geo skin weights. It honestly doesn't make sense. And then the template geo skin. Can I get the? Yeah, so I'm just trying to think what kind of like what sense does it make though to do something like this? Like it's the I'm calling a key that is returning me a value exactly equal the key. I don't know if there's a point in that. I mean, only it's only adding flexibility if I want to then change this, but also doesn't make much sense. Doesn't make sense at all to me. But I'm not going to be complaining, and I'm just going to keep going. If it's necessary to change, we will change it, and that's it. So model just skin weights. Sorry, template just skin weights. And then system geoskin weights, and same thing. Right? Yeah, this doesn't smell very well for me, but I think it's just better than not having a variable right now. God, man. Yeah. Okay. So what's the red thing here? Yeah, that's fine. So the directory path is that, and the file name is going to be then the self dot project data file dict, and it's going to be the same thing that we did there. So it's going to be model geo skin weights. And yeah, so I think I'm a little bit sweaty right now. Sorry about that, guys. It's just way too hot here in Vancouver right now, like insanely hot. Well, at least for Vancouver terms, I believe it's like 26 degrees or something. Brazil, it's a lot more than that, and it's 20 degrees. It definitely doesn't feel like that though. Anyways, okay. So we got the information and we are parsing it inside of the export screen weights. And then here we can start to make it completely variable. So what you need is to define this in a different way. So Let me see if I copy, if I still have the copy of the thing that I. So I need to get the. Wait, are you Brazilian too? Yeah, man. Are you from Brazil? Pleasure to meet you. Prazer, meu parceiro. Valeu a presença na live. Pros Brazuca. So I'm just saying hi to what seems to be a Brazilian friend here. And oh yeah, man, the guys, my friend here is from São Paulo, Rafael Vitorati. I'm from São Paulo as well, man. From São Paulo now in Vancouver, BC, Canada. Yeah, came here from after visiting the streets of São Paulo, Paulista, Brigadeiro Faria Lima, Vila Madalena, Sumaré, andava de bike na USP. So I'm just saying some of the names there. Anyways, enough of the nostalgia. I am going to be, but I miss Brazil. Also, Rafael is saying that he lives in Polonia, so nice. It must have been a big change, man. I can imagine that. All right, so let me try to figure out here where I stopped. So first thing, what I wanted to do is to get this one piece here. Okay, so what I'm saying there is basically if I don't have the information, if there's no directory path, then we're gonna prompt the user. But to prompt the user, I need to import, and I need to use the file mode 1. Let me see what is the actual thing that we need. So oh my god. So it's Maya Python file dialog 2, and then what I need to check is what is the number. It's gonna be a single existing file. I think it's this one here. It's the 1, and dialog style is the dialog 2, and file extension is JSON, so it's all good. So for the import, then I actually am. I don't need many of the things that I did here. I can actually just pass in, because we're opening, right? Yeah, so if the file already exists, I don't need to prompt the user with like what's the name you want to use or anything like that. The user is just going to jump into the directory path. Oh no. The data. Yeah, actually, yeah, I'm just trying to remember here. So this is not, first of all, this is not export, it's the import here. So the directory path and the file name, but name. But what I could do here actually is just import whatever is inside of which would save us a lot more time, which was actually my initial idea. And I think that's what I'm going to go with. Instead of like, that's what I should have done actually. Let me go back into the import skin weights here. So I'm just passing so let me just check what it's doing here. I think it's like skin weights, import skin weights from file. Yeah, so it's the glob. And yeah, but Rafael, I hope you're having a great time in Poland. And how do you say Poland in English? Actually, I don't even know. Let me check here. Translate dot Google. Polonia. It's Poland. Sorry, not Polonia for sure. So it's Poland. Yeah, I think I know a guy from Poland here. Yeah, a guy from Poland here that worked with me in EA. Let me confirm. Well, it's Jan. Well, Poland is gigantic, right? Or it's not gigantic, but it's a country. So, uh, Jan, let's check here. Oh, yeah, I think it's it's PL Poland? I think it is. He's originally, yeah, I'm gonna check that. There's a lot of people from Poland here. Super cool people, by the way. Some of the best. Some of the more the funniest people I know. Yeah, dot PL is Poland, right? Yeah, so then he's from Poland. So he's a super funny guy. The guy's a natural leader. It's been grow. He's been growing and growing, unstoppable. The guy. And my daughter, the person that takes care of my daughter is also from Poland. Okay, so this is the what's doing to import that the file. So let's get back there. And here, then instead of so we have the directory path. So files, file list is equals to the glob directory path. And it's listing anything that is inside that. And so it's getting the entire thing though. Oh god, this is going to make it so even harder. But that's what we need though. Export module, import module. So what I need then is to separate. So for okay, so I'm gonna loop through this. So for file and file list. What I'm gonna have to do is separate this item. So the file name is going to be. So I'm gonna have to split this list. So I'm gonna get the directory path. Sorry, or the file. Then split into the dash. Right? What is it going to give us? I don't remember. Hey, so whistleblower is in the house. Welcome. Also, guys, Rafa, if you're still around, you're probably gone or not, but YouTube is also online, or if you want to watch it on Twitch, it's also online there. What's the purpose? What purpose does this face rigging serves? So this project here is a auto rigger or a rig builder here that is sorry, Rafael. Let me just enter whistleblower. Hey, Hutcher is in the house as well. Welcome, man. So the thing is, I've done facial rigs before, and it takes a gigantic amount of time. And once you're done, you're left with one of a kind rig, meaning that you've done a lot of manual work, or even I had a lot of the parts automated, such as like the eye system or even the mouth system, but I don't have anything coherent that I can rebuild the system. So before, what happens is, I had a client once, for example, and this is just basic stuff, but he bought the rig, I built the rig, but then when it got to the end, close to the end of the development, needed to make a change on the EUVs, and then because it was all binded and we weren't able to rebuild the rig. Was all done manually. Basically, it was just impossible to change things simply. So that's just basic. It's rigging 101. You need to be able to rebuild the rig. So I want to do a fax blunt shape, for example, rig on this guy, which I have the blunt shapes already, but without being able to rebuild it, we're just gonna get stuck on the same place. If I have a rig builder then that can build all of the other systems, even if we're like, we can say, okay, blunt shapes are super important, if not the most important thing on the facial blunt shape rig right nowadays, at least. But if we focus just on that, we're going to get a good facial system or a good facial deformation, but then we don't have a pipeline. So if we have a pipeline that we can rebuild the entire rig up onto the point that we just need to deal with the blunt shapes, and then we can do the blunt shape work and export all of the data and then just rebuild it all at once. If we need to change something of the process, if we need to add more shapes, if we need to change geometry, if we need to do it to another rig, we're going to have it available. And also this system, one of the reasons why I'm doing this, so two things. One is this system is going to teach me a lot about classes, about object-oriented programming, about OpenMaya, among other stuff. And the second thing I just forgot, sorry. Oh yeah, so Rafael was saying, so what can be a possible solution to capture eye movement? Oh man, that's Faceware would do it, or it depends. We have multiple ways to do facial capture nowadays. You can go from high end, like recording the whole thing, like the whole 4D capture, or you can have the Faceware does it, I know, and you can also do Apple AR Kit, which also does it. But so you can control, for example, MetaHuman with the Apple AR Kit, and it's a pretty good system. So let me see what Raphael was saying here. Do I don't get it. Are you saving the skin weights into multiple files? So right now, no. Yeah, I'm trying to think. Why would I change? Why would I need multiple files? But also, even if I'm like, even if I have multiple files or one file, I may need, yeah, if I import everything that is inside of the folder, I may not need to have like uh, a class attribute just to store file names. I can just, on the process of exporting the weights, I can have the file name, and then on the import, I just import everything that is inside of the folder. But I'm not really sure. I'm just not really confident on that dictionary where the key name is the same as the value. That doesn't make sense to me. It's kind of silly. But anyways, we're good. The thing is, we keep going and we figure out on the way, and we change if necessary. But we are able to import everything in the file. So Hutrud, thank you for stopping by. And Raphael said also, you're using blade shapes. We avoid blade shapes at all costs. Just are much more, just joint. I imagine you're talking about joints. So joints are much more flexible, especially for rebuilding. I totally agree with that. And this system is going to have a lot of joint-based systems to rebuild, and but it'll also be because this guy here. So let's do it on the fly while we talk here, so we can check it out. So we have the blend shapes. So the shape editor empty here. I'm just gonna add the blend shape target. So you can see that we have. Oh, sorry. Let me show you. Boom. So we have the blend shapes already for this geometry. This is a bought geometry. I bought this with about 28 set of blend shapes, and then we can connect them. And what we end up with here is, so we have already all like the mouth open thing. Let me close. Let me turn off the template. So we have already like all the blend shapes, or the major blend shapes here sculpted. So, and most of the high-end studios right now, we have a blend shape rig as the main drive of the of the studio. So I want to test. So that's why I'm also building the system before going for the blend shapes, because I want to have the system as solid as possible, and the blend shapes are already built. So I want to learn on both ends. But the blend shapes, I don't know if they are avoidable though. At least for realistic rigs, I don't know how much they're avoidable. So continuing on the comments from Rafael, how you could use a joint system, by the way, to extract all the blend shapes if you don't want to go with joints. Yes, yes, I agree with that, and that would probably be one way that we can approach it. Uh, so Hutu is saying, I can almost see the smoke coming out of your head when you're thinking. Yeah, man. I don't know. I'm trying. I'm doing my best, Hutu. Thank you for participating, but sometimes it's just too much. So Rafael is saying, if it's a fax based system, yeah, most, at least on the studios that I've worked, they're using a fax based system to some extent, then having the joints as a like tweaker. But if you're, but I have faith that we can get there with joints as well, and maybe even some simulations. But this system is going to allow us to do that at the end, right? We're gonna be able to rebuild all the systems, and if we like the result, good. We can use the blend shapes to add detail, or if we feel like the blend shapes gotta be the main driver, then we go with the blend shapes. But at least we have a way to rebuild it, and we can easily apply it to another system or to another rig. So now we can see the thing that we have, and it's so we also have all of the, like, it's printing all of the doc strings here as we click. So if you don't know what is this method doing, then we can check it out here. Right, so we are approaching also 1 hour and a half, and it's midnight, almost midnight here. I need to still take a shower. Maybe that's too much information, but I still need to go take a shower and go to sleep, wake up tomorrow super early. So anyways, let me just do as much as I can now, and we keep moving. So let me see, what can we consider here as a goal. So I want to check just what is the is return, what is the glob returning us, because I don't remember if we, I know it's going to return the entire boy. Okay, I'm gonna have to print it later. Let's just check here. So the file name is going to be that, and that's going to return as the file name with the yeah, but Rafael is correct. You know what? I agree with Rafael. For now, maybe we don't need this madness here. We can just go straight with the one file. And if, let me see here. Let me see, because I was doing this. import. I was doing the imports here in a different. Let me see the imports here. Yeah, the imports are doing everything inside of the. Which is pretty simple. Why would I have more than one file? I just want to move on, guys. I don't want to lose time here thinking of stuff that I don't need to be thinking. Because this may or may not work, because I don't know if glob is going to return us. Because I'm splitting the list, but yeah, I think it's gonna work. Let's keep going. So the list -1 here is going to return us the last item of the list, which is going to have the name of the file with the .json, and then we need the name of the file without the extension, and extension, and then we need the file name without the extension. So the file name without the extension is going to be file name dot split, and I'm going to split it on the dot and get the first item. Then it's going to be the file name, and our path. Right, we already have. Yeah, I don't actually need that. Screen cluster model file name. Okay, directory path and or not file name. All right, so we have the directory path, the file name, and we are importing everything that is in the directory of the skin clusters. Oh yeah, so Hutrude is saying, going to bed too, just stopping by to say hi. Hello, Hutrude. Thanks for stopping by, man. Highly appreciate the energy as usual. It's a blast to be able to work with you guys, and some of the inputs, just like Rafael just gave us, very nice today. It's been awesome. Thank you, man. Vai dormir, cara. Vai dormir. All right. So I'm just saying to him, I'm just telling him to go to sleep in Portuguese, because he's Brazilian. I know Hutrude is Brazilian as well. As Brazilian, or is Brazilian as Rafael is Brazilian. Okay, so now we are calling this, and now if the so we're calling the so this then can go on the import model skin weights. Good. So this doesn't need to be here. This can be. Oh man, Rafael is it's at work. He's just starting the day in Poland. Look at that. 9 a.m. Yeah, quite far away. Really good, man. Hope you're having a good day. Hope you're gonna have the best day today. All right, so let me import. So yeah, this is the guy, and OM. Do I need to have the OM here? It's a good question. All right, so I'm going to change then this name on the register here. Okay, making some progress. There's just a lot right now. So if then we want to call this like import skin weights, what's going on here? So now the OM stands for OpenMaya, and it is a method that it's importing the skin weights from a folder based on SkinMaya, but based on OpenMaya, and it is ultra fast. It's the fastest approach that I've ever had, and it is a great way to import because it's just taking like a few seconds to import some dense meshes, and that's what I need right now. So then we can use this guy here, import weights, if we don't have the directory path. It's going to prompt the user. The user is then going to look for it, and the file name. We wouldn't actually need if there's no directory path. If there is a directory path, import file name. Oh, I think I'm glitching already. So if we don't have the directory path, we're not going to have the file name as well, and it wouldn't even matter. So we're getting the directory path with the file name already because the user is querying that and is already getting. But now I don't want to split that information. And I'm going to have to gate this guy here as well. So if directory path, then we're going to have this. So it's going to join the two names. And also going to say and file name. And else we're going to have this guy being queried, and it is going to be called instead import path file. So it's one way or the other, and it gives us what we need anyways. All right. So okay, so now we got the file name, and we can also use this as an utility because we can define it. The user can then define whatever the file it is that he wants to import, and inside of the file we then have all the information necessary regarding like which meshes and what's the skin cluster name, so it should be able to do that. So the next step then is to test it. Am I confident that it's not going to break? I'm not fully confident, but let's test it. So if it works, we should be able to run this and get the skin clusters back. Let's see. Boom, crashed. Thank you. All right, so what's the issue here? No associated method. Where? Yeah, you see that? What is this? Read JSON from file. So okay, so it seems like a simple mistake, something that I did. So Rafael is saying, I think the skin cluster name and mesh should also be provided as an argument, just in case you switch the model and create a new skin cluster. In case you switch the model and then you change the naming, and then yeah, so it is. So this is the arguments that we are parsing to it. Let me show you. This is the import, and then the export is somewhere here. I'm just keeping this commented thing here just because this is the first ones that worked. Then So right now we have the weights, blend shape, the blend weights, and the name of the skin cluster. And at the end, it is being added into yet another dictionary where we have the geometry and the data. So we have these arguments here, but if we change, we can always uh, find the geometry. But indeed, if you change the geometry, we're gonna lose the skin weights, or at least partially. But I'm gonna take that in consideration. So Rafael is saying, by the way, the skin cluster could be automatically finded based on the mesh connections. Yes, it is. It is being automatically finded as well, but we are uh, storing the skin cluster name just so that we can rename the skin cluster. Because so by default, we are always going to be importing the skin weights into freshly built geometry. So this geometry here is something that we're going to always the geometry that is imported is uh, has no nodes attached to it, has anything attached to it. There's no skin clusters. It's all going to be done by the code. So we have a pretty solid default. So that's why we don't need to make it uh, account for many other things, right? So let me just see what am I making? What is the mistake that I'm making here? So I think it's related to the way that I am joining the information here. So okay, so we got this. Yeah, I'm reparsing it into the import. What is it complaining here? That's why I didn't want it to do that. No such file or directory. Yeah, I understand that. But why? Yeah, I understand. So what's going on here is I am joining the two inside of the OM here. I'm joining it in the most simple way possible. And I think there is the mistake. But let's do it again. So let's then print before this. I don't even know exactly where it is crashing, to be honest. I know it's here though. So let's see. Let's print this guy here. Print import file path. Oh my god, let's bug smash this time at night. I could. I'm not gonna be complaining. I'm just gonna do it. So we are querying this guy, and that's okay. So I just want to do the file list here. Oh, you know what? Yeah. Ah, I know what it is. This is the issue here. Uh, Also this. So let's just do file list here. So let's just do a few prints here just to understand what is crashing there. Okay. So do we have the prints? OM import, and it crashed right away. Oh no, we have a list here. Yeah, you can see that was my fear. It's querying the file, like the glob was querying with the double backslash. I don't know how to get around this though. How do you even call this? Double backslash? It's glob glob return turning double backslash. Yeah, so what technical? So we have Prakrit. Is it how you say it? Prakrit. Seth saying technical insane raid. Welcome, man. Thanks for participating today. A few cool partners here today. So Rafa was saying use the other forward slash, but why is it returning that though? That's what I don't understand. What I could do though is just do like a double back. No, this is just gonna cause me more problems. I just want to not do it. Is this saying then it's return? Yeah, the double backslash here. That's what it's saying. And then the answer is according to this answer here are interchangeable in Python path. Yeah, but I don't want it's os path norm path. And then I do what? Yeah, cool. Great. I think we have it. So we do this and then we do first norm path and then we do os path dot norm path and we do file and then we do split norm path and let's see if the magic happens here. All right, so we then what now? What? What? This doesn't even make sense. What the file path has become, man. I'm just starting to feel like I need to. Oh boy. So we have it's returning a list, and inside of this, hold on. So it's printing here, right? Oh god. So the thing that it's printing, it's because it's parsing into. So that's correct. So the norm path is actually even worse. It's going. What? This makes no sense whatsoever right now. So this error is returning from import JSON file inside of the OM import skin weights. So this is where it is. Okay. As long as we have. Okay, I'm doing the wrong thing. Norm path. Let's crash it on the backslash then. Let's see if it works. But then how do I add this? Jesus, man. Okay, this is help me out here, bro. No. Okay. what are we looking at here? Right. Okay. Norm path equals dot norm path. Just gonna do a few print statements here. I just want to understand what's going on. Where am I missing here? You know, already mega tired. I just want to get this going. It's not even we did it already, so now I'm just making my life harder. Okay, so we have the print, and then that's the normalized path there. It's actually good. It's actually just slightly different than what we expect, except, so what do we need to add to this? Okay, so Python string backslash. What do I need to add before this? Quoting backslashes. Okay, so it's R. Is that what it is? Is that what I need to do? R. Tell me now. Oh no, but then everything becomes. You're Are you trying to replace the? So no, I need one backslash now because we're having the print. So Rafa, oh man, I'm not for how long I've been looking to my face. Sorry about that, guys. So we have the file name being printed here, and now it is correct, except so the normalized file has all backslashes. So I need to split on the backslash. But now the simple stupid thing that I'm hammering here is the backslash cannot be placed inside of a string or a quote. Oh, I see what you mean. But still, we're gonna have the same problem because I cannot put it in between quotes. So I'm just trying to find like how to place it between quotes. Use a raw string, which is what, bus? Where's a bus? No, it's a raw, but it's this. Let's see if this helps. What is it saying about what's the deal with bus here? I don't want this bus. Huh. No, I definitely don't need that. Okay, so this is the stupidest problem we can possibly have here. You know what? I'm feeling like I'm not going to deal with this right now. I just don't want to deal with this right now. So I'm gonna comment this. Whatever. You won for now. I just want to make it work. And if we need to have more files in the folder, fine. We will get back into it. I'm gonna comment this. Let me just do another search. It's impossible that this is the thing. Is it the boss? No, that for represent boss. It's nonsense. How to print backslash in Python? So to do one backslash. It's saying to use the raw, but the raw is not working. Let me just check one last time here, just to make sure I am not going nuts. Enough fighting with this thing for now. I'm sure we can find this information, and I want to bring back how is it done, but right now it's just nonsense to keep fighting with this, where we can just use the damn file name and just get it. We absolutely don't need to do this right now. So directory path, file name, four backslashes. Okay, let's give it a last try. Let's remove this. Oh, but then I need to do the raw? Huh. That might be the case. Oh, I think I understand. So if I do two, it's going to return one, and then that's what we might need. Oh man. Okay, but I think we're closer. So let me just print this one. So thank you once again, Rafael. You're being a great company here today. File name and extension. Let's quickly do this. Otherwise, I'm just gonna bail as I was already doing. Sometimes I'm just gonna be a little stubborn. No. What happens? Let's try to print this. I'm starting to get little. We need to find out how to solve this problem. So the whole problem here, if you're still hanging on through all of this nonsense here, uh, it is we need to separate the name of the file, and we're suffering because of that. Oh, oh, and we got it. Boom. We got it, man. We got it. We got it, Rafael. We got it. Yeah. Well, we don't need. I understand, and I help. Thanks for helping with that. And the thing here is, we need one because, as you can see here, the file that it's printing, it's one backslash. But so then it's exactly what you're saying. We need one backslash. So to get one backslash, we need two backslash. And so this is what's happening here. We added two backslash and it was able to actually find the name of the file here. So this is what's being printed here, right? So let's see. Oh, now it got totally gigantic. I was trying to increase the font size. It just got completely, oh my God, not that. All right, so that's working. It's good enough for me. Let's go back here. Yeah, okay. So you can see that it's printing correctly and it is importing the skin clusters all good. So we made it for this part here. So everything that it's inside of the folder is finally getting inside of our meshes. Guys, sorry for this chase around such a simple thing, which is like two double backslashes or one backslash. So I hope this is a lesson to anyone that will try to do it later on. It's just if you need to put backslashes into quotes, if you put two backslashes, it gets you one backslash. If you put four, you can get two. So just have that in mind. And thanks, Rafael, for the help. Rafael, boa noite, parceiro. I'm going to. That's it for me. We got it already, what we needed, and that's good enough for me. If you want, add me on LinkedIn, and we can talk in the future. Have a good day in Poland, and a big shout out to your studio as well. Cool. Cheers, man. So yeah, I guess with that, it's time for me to go as well. Way too late. 12:25, and I gotta go. There's some progress here that we made. There's still stuff to do. We have the import the former weights inside of our builder already working. So once we rebuild the entire rig, it is now bringing our skin clusters into the rig. So let's just, for the sake of watching it happen, we have everything here. So this is our, so like the eye. Let me just delete a few things just so that we can see that it is doing something. And if we then rebuild it, you can see that's going to bring everything back again with our skin clusters imported here. If we turn off then the import the former weights and run it again, oh no, I'm not even showing, right? Oh man, sucks. I'm showing my face. I'm sorry. I'm tired. So look, I've just turned off the import the former weights, and we should have no skin cluster. Oh, hmm. Okay, so you have no skin cluster, and then if I run the import skin clusters, we get the skin cluster. There it is, our skin cluster. All right, so thanks for the company today. It was a little bit intensive, and we had the pleasure to have some great company here. Let me just go through the guys again. Rafael gave some huge contributions today. Prakrit gave a shout out. Hutrudos in the house. It's a guy that is also a Brazilian friend that's always here to help. Whistleblower stopped by to say hi as well and asked a few questions, and I think that's it. And was a good 1 hour and almost 2 hours of stream. My God, man! All right, I gotta go. This is Monday tomorrow, so you guys have a good week. You guys have all the best, and we'll talk on the next stream.